It's Father's Day, so what better day to bring you the sweet story of the couple we've followed through their pandemic pregnancy. Corinne and Elias are now parents. Baby Anderson is their first. He was born about a month ago. He's healthy and well, though his path into the world did take a few turns. Babies don't care about a global health crisis or worry if it's the right time. Here's the new reality of delivering in a pandemic.
I'm Eli.
I'm Corinne.
And he is Anderson. And this is our COVID birth story.
On Sunday, about a week after our due date, I woke up at 2 a.m. because my contractions were getting much stronger.
So I started tracking them, and they were about 5 minutes apart. So the app was telling us to go to the hospital, but we've heard not to do that. So we just called our doula, and she came by the next morning to check in.
Because of COVID, we wanted to stay home as long as possible.
Originally, the plan was to have a natural birth at the hospital, but we were also prepared to have the baby at home if things were going smoothly. Contractions were intense and consistent from Sunday through Tuesday, the longest being 6 or 7 minutes apart, and the shortest being 1.5. We're talking 3 days of contractions. Corinne soldiered on throughout with the support of our doula and regular check-ins from the midwives. Labor was progressing slowly, but they warned us things could escalate at any time.
I guess I'm just feeling kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And it's hard to imagine like another 3 days of this.
Yeah.
By Tuesday morning, Corinne was dilated 4 to 5 centimeters, and the midwife suggested a castor oil cocktail to try and speed things up naturally. First sip.
Cheers.
Corinne took it twice, but nothing. Apparently, she's impervious. Honestly, she was a champ through this whole thing. It's like interval training, and we tried everything. So many different exercises, and listened to so much hypnobirthing.
My blood pressure is always perfect and stable.
On Tuesday night, her water broke, but the dilation was about the same, and the baby wasn't in a great position. On the advice of our midwife, we decided it was time to head to the hospital for some help. 2:47, May 20th, 2020. Baby's new birthday.
Hopefully.
Okay, I think I can pull right up to the front. We arrived, checked in, and answered the COVID questions.
Headache, no muscle aches, no fatigue. Yeah.
And took the long walk to the labor and delivery floor. So later Wednesday morning, things hadn't really progressed, and the baby was in an awkward position.
His head was facing up and to the right. They call these babies stargazers, which is a cute name, but not good for delivery.
No. So around noon, we made the call to move ahead with a C-section. We also didn't want to risk Corinne getting a fever, because then that unlocks all these COVID protocols, which can involve isolation and all these other tests, and ain't nobody got time for that. They prepped Corinne for surgery. Coming back with this with the baby. I suited up, and by 2 p.m. we were headed to the OR. With the help of the exceptional team at the BC Women's Hospital, we welcomed a beautiful little boy. Oh, it's a boy! It's a boy! The 2 days we spent at the hospital in recovery were really positive, in part because of COVID. We got our own room because of social distancing, and with no visitors allowed, we had lots of time together to hunker down, just the 3 of us, with nurses close by should we have any questions. One nurse even mentioned an increase in successful breastfeeding during COVID because of the lack of interruptions. But we were ready to come home.
You made it. You're home.
Since then, Anderson has been pretty great for the most part. We love his smiles and that startle reflex. I love watching him stare at himself in the mirror.
See you next time.
And the face he makes when I hit him with the hairdryer.
Oh, you like?
I love the way he looks at us, and the way Corinne looks at him as she serenades him to sleep. But it's not all rainbows and lollipops. Sometimes he's just fussy and he won't stop crying. It's kind of like battling an internet troll. You see, there's no reasoning with them because facts don't matter. Also, we're sleeping less, and then he'll just pee on you.
With COVID, one of the hardest things is that there isn't somebody else to hand him off to. It's just the 2 of us.
Yeah, I mean, he's 1 month old, and besides medical appointments, it's only Corinne and I that have held him. Right, bud? You're stuck with us.
Before COVID, we were looking forward to a summer of having friends and family visit. People like my mom.
Oh, I just want to snuggle him.
I know.
But unfortunately, those plans got canceled.
Yeah, so now everybody just has to meet them through video chat, which is great, but obviously not the same. Luckily, our friends have been amazing with gifts and meals and socially distanced visits, so we're definitely lucky. Having a kid is always going to be challenging. But in 2020, with COVID, the Black Lives Matter protests, and the growing concerns we already had over climate change, there's a lot going on in the old brain right now. What's work going to look like moving forward?
Where do we want to live?
Who do we add into our bubble?
We want to visit friends and family, but should we?
As a mixed kid, is he going to face some of the same challenges I did growing up a visible minority?
What kind of world are we going to leave him?
These are all some pretty big questions, and honestly, sometimes can be overwhelming. For the time being, we're just taking it one day at a time and trying to enjoy this crazy stage of his life, because we know it's gonna fly by. Let's get in the snuggles, enjoy all the firsts, and try to support organizations and ideas that push things forward. In the end, we all just want the best for our kids and families. Maybe 2020 is our pivot point, and we turn things around. I've always been pretty motivated to do better. Now I have a little more inspiration staring me right in the face.